Hey guys, want to take time, make a little video, give some information on a snake that I'm increasingly becoming more and more obsessed with. I'm actually going to be starting a website soon dedicated just to these guys specifically, and hopefully have some breedings here before too long. Not a lot of info out on these guys. It's getting a little easier to come by. They seem to be getting a little more popular. But still, there's quite a bit of unknown, just guesswork. The snake is a Hydrodonasus gigas, also known as a false water cobra or Brazilian smooth snake, referred to as falsies or FWCs as well. Their Latin name actually means giant water prince. They're not a real cobra. They're not a Naja genus. These are a colubrid, a very large one. Females can get upwards of 9 foot. Males tend to stay in the 6 to 7 range. Fairly heavy-bodied snake for a colubrid, I would say. Stocky would be a good word to use. Very quick, powerful snake. They're diurnal, big, large, round eyes. Very visual stimulated. They will follow you around when they see you walking by. Great display snakes, very active. Now they are venomous. They're rare-fanged venomous. Not a lot's known about the venom. It hasn't really been studied well. Now it's commonly considered that their venom is similar to that of a timber rattlesnake, but due to their poor delivery method and small amounts of volume, the envenomations are nowhere near as bad. These snakes will have to essentially get a hold of you and chew on you to cause any bit of a good envenomation. Even still, worst of what I've seen, actually proof-wise, has been some fairly moderate swelling. You know, for instance, if it's a bite on a hand, pretty much most of the whole hand will swell. There's been reports, you can find little stories of somebody that had paralysis and this or that, but there's no proof. One of the incidents was likely just a young kid. Anxiety attack, just got too worked up. Now, that's not to say that they can't be dangerous. You never know. You could have an allergic anaphylactic reaction to it. So, caution should still be exercised. I handle them with hooks and gloves. You'll see people free handle them with no gloves or anything. That's on them. That's their own risk. My opinion, they should be treated like any other hawk. You could be bit once and not have a allergic reaction, but the second time you get bitten, you may. You never know. That being said, though, I think they're a great snake for an experienced handler. Definitely not for the beginner, but they're definitely a good step up for somebody looking for something a little more challenging that has experience with plenty of other snakes. They tend to like it a little bit cooler. Temperature-wise, no more than like 90 degrees on the hot side and about 80 degrees on the cool side. You definitely want a large water bowl, because naturally they false water cobra, they like to be in the water quite a bit. Humidity between 60 and 80%. Feeding, that is what these guys are known for. They have a feeding response that is ridiculous. They will chase you across the room for food. Pretty much a garbage disposal. They'll eat just about anything that you'll give them. Frozen thawed, toads, fish. They'll pretty much take it down. See some other things. Temperament varies quite a bit. You may have one that's very timid, reluctant to bite. Then you may have one that's psychotic, that will just come at you and literally charge you. So you just kind of have to take note of your own snake's personality. Trying to think of some other good information. before we get her out and let you guys take a good look at her. I think that pretty much covers most of the basics. So let's just get her out of here and let you guys have a good look at her. This is a new one I just got yesterday, actually. So still kind of filling out the ropes with her on how she's gonna behave. See if we can get her to hood up a little bit. Yeah, not too much. She hasn't really been one to... So far from what I've seen of her, she's fairly laid back. You can kind of see a little bit of her hood going on. Anyway, set the camera down, we'll get her out real fast. Anyways, as you can see, very fast when they want to be. She can move along pretty good. Plus, the hook may be kind of new to her. I doubt she was worked with a hook by the previous place she was at. You can see, not the best for wanting to get on camera. They don't... She doesn't really want to relax and hang out. See if I can get her to calm down a little bit now. Oh, another thing on these. They really like to burrow. Highly recommend a thick enough substrate that they can burrow in, because they really enjoy doing that. They will do that a lot. Other than that, typical hide structure. Should have one on the hot end, one on the cool end. This little girl, she's just in a small tub for right now, so I got her substrate thick enough she can burrow and hide in if she needs to get some security. Let me see if she'll just lay down here and not try to run away. Just hang out. Let's get a look at you. Anyways, I think they're great looking snake. Like I said, very active. No! Come back. Oh, 1 second. I definitely recommend, especially for your first one, get a young one like this and work with it how you plan to work with it as it's an adult. For instance, as you can see me, if you plan on wanting to use a hook and a glove when they're full grown, start doing it from the time they're young. They'll get used to the feel, the smell of the glove, the feel and smell of the hook. That way, when you open up the cage and you touch them with the hook, they will associate that with, okay, I'm about to be handled, not the fact that here comes some food. But naturally, like I said, with these, how their personalities can vary, you'll want to be on your toes anyways. But I definitely recommend working with them from the time they're young in the manner you plan to handle them when they're an adult. She's actually kind of going to hold still now. She's probably a little angry with me. Let's see if she'll go back in here. But anyways, yeah, one of my favorite snakes that I got, and the more that I get into them, the more obsessed with them I'm getting. Actually, planning on purchasing quite a few more, and starting a little bit of a breeding project, because even though they are getting a little bit more popular, they're a little hard to find still. I had to search around a little bit and found a great little shop in Lodi, California, GBU Enterprises, and they had some hatchlings. That's where she came from. Great people. Highly recommend looking into them. They have a Facebook page. They're on Fauna Classifieds. But yeah, they can be a little difficult to hunt down. So I'm going to start trying to breed them myself. That way there's a little more availability for the people interested in them. From what I've seen, most people that start to get into them really enjoy them, and if they do get rid of them, it's usually one of the snakes that they really regret letting go. Speaking of breeding, not a lot's really zeroed down on these guys yet. People have had decent success with keeping it fairly basic, but you know, nobody knows if there's a specific temperature that is ideal for incubation, things like that. It's kind of test and trial right now. So, trying to give you guys a little better. As you can see, well, I was trying to show you. Right underneath their head there on the bottom side, they're actually white with a bunch of black dots. And on the rare occasion that they do lift up enough to see under there, it's pretty nice looking. Trying to give you guys a, there we go, you see it a little bit there, I suppose. There we go. Now she's cooperating a little bit. Like I said, they're very visually stimulated snakes. They big old eyes. They you know, I come walking into the room, she's at the front of the tub. She'll see me and she'll follow me around that. Oh, there we go. There's a little bit of hood. I don't think she likes the camera. I hardly ever see her hood since I've had her, but evidently the camera does the trick. Yeah, a little bit. At one point last night, she was hooded out really good, and was actually rearing up like a traditional Cobra. Now, in general, when they hood, they don't do that. They stay low to the ground. But I was actually getting her to kind of rear up a little bit, and looked really impressive. I just could not get a picture of her like that. But anyways, all right. Well, don't want to bother her too much. I'll have to edit this video up a little bit due to my rambling. But hopefully that was a decent little intro to the species for you guys, and filled in a little information about them. Have any questions, anything like that, feel free to message me on the YouTube channel, or if you know me on Facebook or any of the forums, you can message me there.